So the Algeria War of Independence. Of course, the leading strugglists, we had people like Ahmed Ben Bella, Falhat Abbas. These were the leading strugglists. So in this kind of arrangement, we need to understand what happened in Algeria. So our question says, the French colonial policies led to the Algeria War of Independence. So you have to reason how the French colonial policies led to the Algeria War of Independence, then other factors. So we are saying the Algeria War of Independence took place between 1954 to 62. It was staged by the Algerian elites like Farhat Abbas, Ahmed Ben Bella, Bakrim Karim against the harsh French rule in Algeria. So we need to understand the role played by the French colonial policies. Number one, the French forced labor policies. It is said the French forced Africans in Algeria to work on their plantations. As Africans were forced to work in the French plantations, this annoyed the Algerians. That's why they rose up to stage the War of Independence, because they were against the French forced labor policies. They thought that after getting independence, they couldn't be forced anyway. Then the unfair taxation system of the French. We are saying today, the taxation system was unfair, where I can say that heavy taxes were imposed onto the Algerians by the French. In this kind of arrangement, they were poverty stricken. Moreover, they were paying so many what? Taxes. So it is this that led to the Algeria War of Independence, because they were not willing to pay so many taxes. Then the French arrogance towards the Algerians. It is said the French were arrogant. They were putting hard policies on the Africans in Algeria, but still they were arrogant. They were not willing to negotiate. So it is this that made the Algerians, led by leading thinkers like Ahmed Ben Bella, a man who fought in the Second World War, to mobilize people, and this led to the Algeria War of Independence. Then, the French declaration of Algeria as a French colony. It is said Algeria was declared as a French colony. As Algeria was declared as a French colony, it is this that led to the Algeria War of Independence. The Algerians were not willing to accept Algeria to be declared a French colony. They rose up and they had to agitate for their independence. Then the French corruption and embezzlement of funds. It is said the French were corrupt in their way of doing things. People were paying taxes, but the government officials were wasting money in unnecessary issues. So it was a question of corruption of the French and embezzlement of funds that led to the Algeria War of Independence. Then the French policy of assimilation. Assimilation meant when the French came in Algeria, they told the Algerians that they were supposed to move as the French. They were supposed to eat as the French, and they were supposed to behave as the French. So the Algerians were not happy with the assimilation policy. That's why they rose up and staged the Algeria War of Independence. Then, the French policy of banning movement of Algerians in their country. It is said the French banned the Algerians from moving in their country. In other words, there wasn't freedom of movement. It is this, as they feared them to get ideas concerning about change. It is this that made the Algerians to rise up, and they had to agitate for their independence. Another one we are saying today, the French policy of controlling education. It is said the French controlled education. where they imposed the French language onto the Algerians. Moreover, most Algerians were Muslims. So by this, it is this that annoyed the Algerians, and they were led by a man called Ahmed Ben Bella, a thinker in politics, and they staged a war of independence. Then the French policy of forced cotton growing. Because the French wanted raw materials in form of cotton, what happened? It was the French policy of forced cotton growing. As the French forced people to grow cotton, it is this that led to the Algeria War of what? Independence. Where I can say, as the French forced people to grow cotton, it is this that annoyed the Algerians. Working couldn't be bad, but they were forced. It is this that led to the Algeria War of Independence. Then the increased French population coming to Algeria. It is said the French population coming to Algeria increased. The white settlers. These took people's land. These mistreated people. So it is this that made the Algerians to agitate for the war of independence, thinking that after independence, this was going to end. Then the poor payment policy of the French to the Algerians. It is said the French had what you call a poor payment policy to the Algerians. As the Algerians were not paid well in this kind of arrangement, whatever they were doing, they were not paid well. So it is this that engineered the Algeria War of Independence. Then the French undermining of African culture. It is said the French undermined African culture. As the French undermined African culture, it is this that led to the War of Independence in Algeria. Because when the French came, they promoted their own culture and undermined African what? Culture. You were meant to adopt a new culture. It is this that annoyed the people. That's why they rose up and staged the War of Independence. But of course, we need to know the other factors. We have factors like the desire for independence by the Algerians. It is said the Algerians rose up and they had to fight for independence because by this time they wanted freedom. So it was a question of the desire for independence that made people to rise up and stage the war of what? Independence. Then the influence of strong charismatic leaders like Ahmed Ben Bella. I can say the influence of strong charismatic leaders like Ahmed Ben Bella. These ones mobilized people. Through mobilizing, people had to understand the bad policies of the French. And of course, people joined the struggle, which led to the Algeria War of Independence. Then the support from Egypt under Nasser, big name. We are like saying Gamal Abdel Nasser from Egypt gave support to the Algerians. This support boosted the struggle. Even those who were not willing to join the struggle had to join because they had the support from a great fighter, that is Gamal Abdel Nasser. So it was that support that boosted the struggle, and this led to the Algerian War of Independence.